Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group, and let's jump right in. Today's poster wanted to recreate this photo with kind of a bevel going on. She circled it so I could see exactly where the bevel is, and as you can see, the picture actually folds over down here into the bevel, so we want to create something like that. Luckily, Photoshop Elements has something that does exactly that. The important thing is that if you want it to look this thick of a bevel, then you have to reduce the photo down to like almost 10 inches. So if you're starting with a large photo, for instance, we went ahead and grabbed a photo of this girl here. This photo, as you can see, is 100 inches wide by about 100 inches tall. So it's a large photo. So what we have to do, because the bevel is going to be really tiny, it only comes in one size with Photoshop Elements. If you use regular Photoshop, you could probably get a bigger bevel, but this is all that Elements comes with. So let's go ahead and start that. We're going to first grab our polygon tool, but instead of it being a straight edge polygon, we're going to grab the lasso tool here. We're going to leave the top and the bottom straight edged, the same as our original picture is. The top is straight edge, the bottom is straight edge, and this ripped is on the both of the sides, so we'll do the same thing. We'll leave the top and bottom alone and just literally just draw a rip and try to do straight lines as much as possible. I'm going to come across to this side and bring it back up. And just jag it around like that. And I'll let go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and select the inverse and hit delete. And that deletes everything else except for what we chose. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now I'm going to deselect everything. The important thing once again was to reduce the size. So this is 100. I'm going to bring this up to the top left corner so I can kind of see what size I'm reducing it. Grab the little square on the bottom right and reduce this down all the way down to about 10 inches. You can see up here on the line is 10 inches. It's a tiny picture, but that's the only way that the bevel works really good in Elements. So now let's go ahead and zoom in, and we can throw in our background. Let's pick out some kind of canvas like that. Bring that up to our photo, and let's go ahead and bring that to the back. So we're going to pull that to the back end. Now we have a nice grouping. So just choose the photo that you want the bevel on. Come down here to Styles, and you got all these bevels and complex shadows, drop shadows, all kinds of neat stuff. Choose the bevels, and from all of these, try them all. But I found this one to be the closest. When I click on it, look what happens to your photo. It looks like it's a ripped sheet, exactly the same as this one. The only difference is that we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more. So I'm going to go back to the layers, and if I want to add more effects, I need to simplify this. And what it means is it marries that effect into the photo. See this little effects button up here? So I'm going to right click on the picture and come down here and simplify. It turns off the effect because it married that effect in the picture, so it's one. Now let's right click on the picture, go to edit layer styles. Let's go ahead and choose a drop shadow, leave it in the center at distance at 0. Let's bring this all the way, opacity all the way up to 100. You see what's happening here? As I pull up the size, look what happens. It pulls the picture away from the background, gives it its own distinct, unique layer. Now I'll just lessen the effect here, the opacity, a little bit, and there we go. Really subtle. Hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and crop the whole picture down to what I want, right about here. And there we got us a nice photo, ripped sheets. It's got its own drop shadow. That's all for this tutorial. This is Rich calling it quits, saying over and out.